Let's work on this. I did some arranging of the very well known song "Creep," which was made famous in the marching band world by the drum corps, the Bluecoats. But "Creep" is by Radiohead. Those of you guys who don't know, I wanted to put together a shortened arrangement of it for none other than the platform that everyone has either a love or hate relationship with. That is the short form platform known as TikTok. And I recently created a account for said loved and hated platform. And I am of the company who thought that I would hate the platform. But it turns out that I don't hate the platform. Test is this thing on? Oh my gosh. It must not be on. It must not be on. Okay. Thank you, Jesse. I'll have to check some things out. Maybe if either you or Klein or one of my other mods can hang with me and test some things out at some point in the future. And I'll have to spend some actual time and concerted effort towards putting up the stream and making it look good, because it seems to not be working. Maybe CloudBot wasn't enabled and I just thought I did. Maybe I dreamt it. But regardless, we'll get it figured out. I will not be leaving the platform in terms of streaming. How does the quality look, guys? I know we had to downgrade to 540p, which I don't mind, especially because I wasn't really able to get any higher than 540p on Twitch because, potato computer. But I would like to hopefully at some point be able to ramp up the quality here quite a bit more. This is a new webcam. This is actually my phone and it's wireless. It looks fine. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Jesse. It's a wireless webcam. So I had to, sync everything up manually because obviously wireless webcams typically are. They add delay. Looks good from here. Thank you so much, Brandon. Also, thanks for being here. I hope that you're doing well. So I had to do that. Note Flight has a delay on Finale, which is so large that it's not fully fixable, which doesn't really bother me that much. And I say Finale. I like to blame things on Finale. It's really the computer. The computer can't handle Note Flight running as a sound through Finale, and so it takes time to encode it. But yeah, I just bought the Elgato Phase Cam. Nice. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Elgato does produce a lot of really good equipment, but I think a lot of their equipment is also kind of overhyped just because people think, they're the greatest thing that's ever existed in the world. So they have good stuff. They have good stuff for sure. I don't know that, all of their stuff is as life-changing as some of the mega fans would have us believe. That said, I am a solid fan of Elgato, and as I'm able to continue to invest more things into Elgato equipment, I will invest more. So one of the things I have to do here, I have a potato webcam from a decade ago. Nice. The built-in potato webcam here is like mega ultra potato, and part of me wants to turn it on just to show you guys how potato it is. But it was really bad. So I had to purchase a webcam when I first started streaming. I purchased a webcam just because, the webcam in this computer was so terrible that I couldn't bring it out in public. I couldn't even go into a Zoom meeting without feeling ashamed of the webcam. So I actually have two functional webcams now, which is kind of cool because hopefully in the future I'll be doing some scenes between two different parts of the room where I might be in front of the computer, and then I might be behind here practicing playing some stuff on the instrument and whatnot. I'll have to sync up more than one microphone to more than one camera, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay, so the first thing I want to do here is, as I was writing this, so I did obviously all of this off of stream. I'm gonna play around with the mix a little bit here, because what I want to do here is I want to have an arrangement that pans frequently from the left to the right. And so the purpose behind these rapidly staggering entrances is mostly so that it fills the ears from every direction as we play. So I'm going to turn up the volume in this mix. I know you guys can't see it, that's why I'm kind of vocalizing what I'm doing. I'm going to turn up the volume in these mix, and I'm also going to pan trumpet 2 hard left, trumpet 3 hard right, 4 mid left, and 5 mid right. 6 and 1 will stay center. And we'll see if that does anything to this playback. A little bit. Okay, so we'll play with that. We're going to test and see if this arrangement is any good the way that I have it, because this theme may or may not actually work, but we're going to find out together. I want to make sure, so did I have this entire thing written out? Yes-ish. Yeah, so I at least metered it out to this point, and I didn't have, so when I got to the impact section, I didn't have the melody written. In trumpet 6, it looks like I put it down into bass trumpet range, but didn't adjust this part. Let me just listen to what I have, guys, before I put anything else down. Let's listen to what I have already. I put this down probably about 2 months ago, a month and a half ago. Okay. Okay, I see what I did. So I must have put down the trumpet 6 part before I decided I wanted it to become a bass trumpet line. Because this is definitely a lead part. Okay. I see what's going on here. So I'm gonna have to fix some orchestration here before I go any further. So let's go ahead and do that, and we will go from there. So let's make this like a traditional. Let's do this. Actually, yeah, that's right. Let's do this. We'll do that. That's fine. I'll have to remember that. I wonder why did I do it like this? This is very odd. This was like ADHD orchestration right here. Like I clearly was not paying attention to anything that I was doing when I wrote this down the first time. So what if I take this and put that there, and I put this here, and we have Yep, okay. Okay. Cool. So I'll put that there. I'll put this here. I'll put this here. And that leaves a space for that. Okay. All right. So if I make the first trumpet part the true lead line, I probably won't be able to allow it to keep the melody up into that part. So let's just play around with these puzzle pieces for a bit and get something that I can at least work with for long enough to start adding some parts here. And then we'll go from there. I hope you guys had a good week. I appreciate you guys coming in and checking out the stream. Those of you who are here chatting, as well as those of you who are here just kind of hanging out in the background, I appreciate all of you for being here. That sounds like I want more than 6 parts. I'm understanding why I initially had 12 parts written here, because I feel like that orchestration needs to be a lot thicker when we get to the end. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to leave this beginning part alone, and then I'm going to flesh out this end part, and we're going to work our way backwards. And I'm just going to start with the very last chord, and I think we need more than 6 trumpet parts. So I'm going to kind of brainstorm here, and we're going to add some parts here, and see how thick of an orchestration we can get here without going overboard and being excessive. I think we can probably get our way, fit like 9 or 10 trumpet parts in here at least. My book was very tiring. I am sorry to hear that, Jesse. We have had some very we've had some very tough COVID-related updates through our schools and counties and whatnot, some positive testing in areas that we didn't need positive testing in, and it's been tiring for me as well. But I hope that you are doing well, regardless of the tiring nature of the week. Okay, so let's add a C, so we'll have a D, a G, an E flat, we might want to see on both octaves, right? Okay, I think so. So if we take, all right, so I'm gonna have to move some things around quite a bit. So I think we want the bottom note. So what, we're gonna add 3 lines if we do it this way. So we want the bottom note to be a G. We want the second bottom note to be a C, right? And I'll just fill in that way. Okay, so, and this will be my C. We've got G, C, E flat, G, Does that work? I don't like having that G in the bottom. We're going to do a pedal C. But I think that will work. Maybe. I'm not entirely sold on the C and the D against each other at the very top, but we're going to leave it there for now. Okay, so I know I'm kind of writing kind of just on a whim and spot checking here. Things will make a little bit more sense as I start to add some parts together here. But I know for a fact how I want this arrangement to end, which is why I started with the end of the arrangement here. And we're just gonna take this part from measure 18 or so to the end, and we're going to focus on this measure a bit. Okay. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit disappointed that I failed to get Streamlabs working. And there's a part of me that wants to try to restart the stream just to see if I can get it up. But I think we're going to leave that for another day, because I already had to restart the stream already. So we're going to double the octave here. And we're going to go ahead and add this here. It's frustrating, can just do it at the end. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll try some things out at the end of the stream and see what I can do. Okay. So now that we have all the parts representative, there's no need to split that second trumpet line. So I'm going to take this, some more musical chairs. That's what most of this is going to be. I have to get into the head of the version of me that wrote this 2 months ago, and figure out how to keep going here. I know I have a few composers here in the chat. I don't know if you guys are like this, but certainly for me, obviously we all grow, develop, and change every day. And when I take a look at something that I've written any more than 2 weeks ago, if I haven't touched it, a lot of times I'll go back to my own scores, and they will look like foreign to me. And I have to kind of figure out what I did and why I did what I did, and then decide if it's worth keeping based off of the perspective I have for the given gay. So sometimes that makes things very jumbly when I'm looking at it in present day, trying to fill things out, because I kind of have to figure out what I did, see if I remember why I did what I did, and then decide if I still want to keep it that way or if I have a different perspective that I think is going to work better. And this is just like, it's been a while since I've done this, so all of the time, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm not a composer, Jesse. You're a liar, and you are a composer. You're multi-talented. You're a better composer than I am, Jesse. We've been through this. Okay, yeah, sure, that'll work. All right. So we're going to go ahead and do... Now that we have the basis of this chord together, we're going to go ahead and write a little waterfall effect here. And we'll see how it sounds. I've got kind of an idea for how I want this to go. So I'm going to throw up what I believe that I want to have, and then we're going to listen to it. And it'll either sound great or won't sound great, which is great either way because we can fix it if it doesn't sound the way that I need it to sound, right? If I were Jesse, then I would probably just instantly know exactly what I needed right away. But unfortunately, I'm not as good as Jesse is at composing. Jesse, how has streaming been coming along on Twitch, by the way? I'm able to stop by a lot, but I'm very rarely able to actually chat and watch attentively. So it won't sound great. It probably won't, Jesse, honestly. A lot of what I do is I try out ideas. And, I don't know. There's something about just wanting to continually grow and develop as an individual rather than feeling like I have to have things perfect. And I know a lot of people, there's a level of pride sometimes that comes together when we sometimes view ourselves as quote unquote professionals. As though we can't mess up. I think some people sometimes feel that pressure. I very purposely do whatever I can to not feel that pressure, and to force myself to be human in front of people. So I will try things all the time. And usually whatever my first thing I do, it's terrible. Whatever the second thing I do is terrible. Whatever the third thing I do is less terrible, but still terrible. It'll maybe take like 4 or 5 or 6 tries of tweaking things before I'm like, oh yeah, I don't hate that. Let's move on. First Travis always hated. Yes, truth. It is truth. Streaming is good. I'm a variety streamer with an emphasis on Dead by Daylight. Nice. Nothing wrong with that. Honestly, I feel, it's weird. It's both the best and most dangerous part of Twitch, I think, that it has, that the communities are so tightly knit. And the reason why I would say it's dangerous is because it's very easy to kind of get yourself stuck in a sort of echo chamber, so to speak, where you are, in a small group of people who specialize in one tiny niche and aren't really able to experience or understand what's happening anywhere else around them. And I know because I was in that situation myself. And the best way to kind of get away from that as a streamer is to variety stream so that you're streaming more than one game or more than one topic, and you attract audiences from more than one area. Obviously, it makes it harder to grow, if you're trying to be a quote unquote big streamer. But I don't know. I find most people who stream are streaming because they want to stream, and they're not necessarily trying to get big, so to speak. In which case, yeah, absolutely variety stream and try your best not to kind of get into one tiny community. Which is one of the reasons why I purposely play games that didn't really have communities. One, because I like a lot of the retro games in general. And two, I wanted to have people who were going to hang out with me and not necessarily hang out with the game, if that makes sense. I actually think we want Oh, we don't want that. We want this. I think we actually want that to be stepwise, and we want the G to come in on the beat, which actually would make this a whole note, right? Yeah? And that will allow us to do... Yeah, that will allow us to do this. Oops. And if we take... All right, let me think about this real quickly. So we're going to tie these over the bar. We're also going to tie this over the bar. And we're going to let that descend stepwise, right? Which then makes trumpet 9 superfluous for now. And if that's how it is, that's how it is. So we'll try that. Can we hear these cascading lines on the on this program even? I don't know if we can. Not really. I feel like just for proof of concept, just because I want to hear how this cascades. For now, I'm gonna make all these forte pianos, just because I want to hear how this line sounds. And we'll make the forte piano happen after each descent, because I think what is clouding us up is the top part and not the bottom part. And then we shall go from there. And then once we realize we hate it, we'll do something else. Because we will probably come to the consensus that I am less of a fan than I would like it to be. And let's actually assign forte to every one of these parts instead of fortissimo. I think that is also going to help. We'll do that. So I'm not a fan of the bottom. So we want to slow our descent somewhere in the middle here. Okay, let's do it here. We're going to do it in the trumpet 7. We shall do that. Maybe. Band bottom cascading notes. Yeah, I don't. Those may be the notes that are not working for us. Let's see what this does. I'm gonna try that. I may still hate that, but I think that's gonna work for now. Okay. Let's flesh out the second half of this measure and see how it relates to that cascade, if it makes any sense. I think that might work, but I can't tell if it's just me being tired of trying new things or or if it's actually a moneymaker. I don't think it's a moneymaker, but we'll see. Hmm. I can't really clearly hear in my mind's ear what I want the chord to be on beat 3 of measure 19. But we'll see what we can muster just based off of basic orchestration. We'll do this. Yeah, so I think we're gonna leave that space, the spacing open up there, and then close the spacing here. And that might be a C instead of a B. Let's listen to what does that sound like? I don't know, guys. This section might be a section that I flop entirely. I'm gonna write it out to see what it sounds like fully orchestrated, and then I'll make the decision from there. However, I'm so far not a huge fan of where this cascading line has put me from an orchestrational standpoint, and it's kind of leading some awkward voice leading, especially for the very limited scope of what I can do here for a trumpet ensemble without making this sound bright and shrill. So we'll see. Exclamation point fire. We're gonna fire the arrangement and the arranger. We're gonna fire both. But let me see what this ends up being. Nice. The other difficult part about this as well is that there is a tendency to write this in a way that makes it sound like an exact copy of the drum corps rendition, which, you know, obviously there's an element of uniqueness that I want to have to this arrangement. But the reality is that arrangement, the Blue Coats arrangement, it was written in such a way that was so intuitive and natural to the ears that it's kind of hard to do anything that sounds as fluid as it, because it was just so well done, which is a compliment for sure to the Blue Coats arranger of that year. But I'm still going to try out, there's some things that I want to try out here before I kind of can this iteration. Okay. I thought that distance was going to sound better than it ended up sounding. Oh, wait. Do we want... We might want the fifth there, which would cause need for a 10th trumpet part there. Maybe. Let's write that there. So we want to, I'm going to go ahead and write the arrival point at measure 21 to see if what I'm leading to is going to make any sense. I'm getting a feeling that I'm going to have to be very careful about the way this is flowing. Let's listen to what we have. 18. Okay, it's not awful. It's not the worst thing in the world. I'm not a fan of the D natural there. However, I'm not sure what I would change it to. For now, we're going to make it a C natural, just because that works orchestrationally, right? I don't know that works in terms of, I don't really care as much about the voice leading. We'll see. We'll see what we can do here to make that work. But, I don't know. It's not awful, yes. I just realized what song this is. Hey, Mark, what's up? Yeah, it is what you think it is. Jesse, that is the best compliment I can give myself nowadays when it comes to like writing music for the first time. The first thing I hear is usually like, I hate this stinks, I stink, I'm a failure, this is awful. And then it takes a few tries before I'm like, yeah, I can live with this, I guess. So this is my this is my way of saying, oh yeah, this is great. It's great. Yeah. I'm not sure. Well, let me just flesh this out first. It's tough as well because I mean, like you hang around the music scene long enough, and if you continue to try to improve every time that you do something, it makes it very hard not to just be the absolute biggest critic of literally everything that you do. And while it can sometimes help set us up for an environment of constant improvement, sometimes it's really hard to tell if what you're really doing is really that terrible, or if you are just an unreasonably big critic of yourself and you need to calm the heck down. And I think most of the time when I write music, it's the latter and not the former, that I need to calm the heck down. But the moment that I stop expecting high things for myself, is the moment I stopped enjoying my craft because I stopped trying to beg myself to improve, you know? And so it's kind of this weird balance, obviously for your own, mental sanity, you don't want to destroy yourself psychologically every time that you're putting something down. Um, but at the same time, I never want to get accustomed to complacency. So I end up having a lot of like, oh yeah, that's not awful reactions to my own music the first time I put things down. I think that'll work. Music theory students, don't look at the parallel octaves here. They don't exist. Hi, Jessica. How are you? It's good to see you. There are no parallel octaves and no parallel fifths here. Do not tell your music theory professor what I am doing. There is nothing of the sort. It's good to see you, Jessica. How are you doing? They don't exist. They're not there, Jesse. You don't see anything. I mean, see what? You're lying? I never lie. I have never lied a day in my life. I don't know what you're talking about, Jesse. I perceive them. Well, perception's not always reality, Jesse. You might just be imagining ghosts. Did you ever think about that? Whoops. We only want one of those notes there. Now I'm almost I tend to be reluctant to put those accents there because I know that that's exactly what they did in the drum corps version. But at some point, I have to allow myself to do what I feel like is appropriate for the arrangement, and not necessarily worry so much about quote unquote mirroring someone else. Um, because at the end of the day, good music is good music, and the way we find our own voice is by emulating those we admire, whether it's a product, whether it's a person, whatever the case may be. But I really kind of want. I'll show you guys right now how I'm hearing this, and I can tell you 100% just because of the style of writing that I do in general. This is how I would make this happen anyway. But of course, it's kind of hard to prove that because there's an existing arrangement that's really popular and well known out there that does this, and it's very easy to say, "Oh, you're just copying, you're just copying the Blue Coats arrangement." But it's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to not write the way that I write just because someone else has done it before, because it's more important to be authentic to yourself than to be what we perceive as unique. At the end of the day, being unique is authentic. Man, this is a really great orchestration without any parallel perfect intervals. It sounds really great, doesn't it, guys? Now we might take crescendo out of that. Or we might not. I kind of think... Oof. Actually, you know what, guys? I think we want the crescendo to happen the entire measure. We want the crescendo to happen the entire measure, and we want to slur those last lines. It also makes sense with the lyrics that accompany this song. So I think that's what we're going to do. having already put these crescendos down, this is kind of a tedious thing to do, but it is what it is. So this is something I've thought about doing. This arrangement is something I've thought about doing for a very long time. But these days, whenever I'm writing something down, there almost always has to be a purpose of some sort. Because I don't really have time nowadays to do things just for fun. That might kind of sound sad, but my job is fun, so I enjoy my job, right? But if I'm not, for example, writing this to sell to an audience or for someone to perform, etc., then I usually don't do the project. So, you know, in a way, the entering of YouTube Shorts and the blowing up of TikTok and Instagram Reels and these forms of short form content that have come out have kind of been one of the best things for me as an arranger, because there's a lot of things I want to put together that just don't fill out, full length pieces. And so it's hard to justify writing them out, because in a live concert setting, you probably wouldn't hear most people play music that only lasts 59 seconds long like this arrangement does. However, this has become perfect for a multi-tracking setting. And so a lot of the things that, that I would have done a lot earlier, such as this arrangement, it now makes sense for me to do them, because I can do them knowing that, I can take it, I can play it, then I can publish it and put it up for sale, and that other people can play it and share it in many of the same ways. And I'm hoping one day what our music world in general does as a whole is we do start playing shorter things just in general, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be in a recital setting. Sometimes you play for, informal events like dinners or parties or some things of the sort. And, having shorter numbers makes sense in those settings. But before I became a content creator and started getting into this short form content, this is something that just never would have made sense for me to write. So I'm glad I had the opportunity to. How is the music audio, by the way, guys? Is it too loud or too soft? All right, so I want to do a couple of subtle things here that's going to make this a little bit less predictable and straightforward. But I'm going to have to be very careful on how I do this, because what I want to do is I want to create some suspension in certain areas, but if I put it in the wrong place, it's going to sound very jarring. If we do the pitch D, I think we want that to be a pickup to beat 3, right? So let's take trumpet 1. Let's take trumpet 1. And do that. And then that allows us to take, did I say trumpet 1? Trumpet 3. We're taking trumpet 3. And then that allows us to take trumpet 4. And do a very similar thing. Which then leads into that F natural pretty nicely in theory. We'll see. To bring these out of the texture, it probably still won't sound out of the texture in our MIDI playback version, but we will accent these. Okay, that'll work. And I'm going to take all of these and they're going to tie over to measure 23, right? And actually, many of these are going to tie over. I think we're going to tie many of these over the entire measure. So let's go ahead and do that. So Jesse, you tried a number of commands with CloudBot, right? Yeah, you tried poll. You tried add command. You tried 8-ball. Klein tried hug. You tried commands. Okay. So chatbot just straight up isn't here tonight, which is fine. We'll figure out how to let it join us next time. There's a part of me. So we've been streaming for an hour. So these settings. So the new camera, the new having the scenes up, the mixing and everything has worked out pretty well. We've had a lot of victories here for the stream. So I guess I'm not that upset. I have some slightly different EQ settings on my microphone. A lot of these changes have worked. So, and to be running for an hour and for things to not be, I'm not dropping any frames or anything. I guess this, I did have a lot of victories, even though we had to restart the stream. I'm trying to decide how much further I want to go for the stream as it being a test stream, and just kind of seeing what was and wasn't working. There's a part of me that wants to kind of do some tests with the chatbot and see if I can get it running. I think we're going to hang here for a minute. I think we're at the very least finish out this last half sequence of this trumpet ensemble arrangement. But I would really love to get chatbot working. Yes, it's victory screech. I really want to put these on beat 2. And I'm just going to do it, regardless of the implications that it's associated with. We're going to do it. Actually, we're going to leave trumpet 8 on beat 1. We'll do 9 and 10 on beat 2. Once we get Streamlabs working, there's going to be a lot of interactive things that will start working on the stream that will kind of help build the sort of informal, sort of chatting, hanging out type of vibes that I want to have on this stream. So that's why I was kind of disappointed to see it wasn't working. There's a lot of, YouTube is very rapidly growing as a platform, but it is still very much behind its leader in streaming. And one of the things that it's going to take a very long time for YouTube to have is the aspect that they don't really necessarily have control over, which is the community aspect. It's one thing that I want to have if I'm going to continue to stream on, well, I am going to, so as I continue to stream on YouTube, is to make it be very clear the type of community that I want to have during these streams. And when we have timed commands, when we have games and everything of the sort on stream, it sort of helps people to understand, oh, hey, I don't have to be afraid to hang out and chat, to crack jokes, to say things that have nothing to do necessarily with what's happening on the screen, and to make friends. So hopefully we'll get chatbot working. All right, does this work on beat 2 like I think it does? I mean it does. No performer is not recognizing it as good, but yeah. But they do, in fact, have nothing to do with this stream. Unless you want to say my arrangement sounds like butts, which I don't think it does. I think it sounds a step higher than butts. Hey, David, how's it going? Good to see you. How's your day been? I don't want to get caught up too much on the playback side of things because that really doesn't matter. But I'll put accents there to see if those are articulated better. So we shall do that. The cool thing, what I will say, the cool thing about streaming here on YouTube is that I'm able to, the discoverability of these streams are going to be a lot higher. So called some sexism out in trumpet forums. I saw that. Yeah. People will still be people. Unfortunately, no matter how much we progress in the world, and some people don't understand social cues and they don't understand how to handle certain things. And yeah, I think one of the prime places for ignorance is your average trumpet forum on everyday social media. So I read all those things, never said anything. I just kind of ignored it. Yeah, but I saw what you were referring to, David. It was really kind of ugly. The trumpet community is great, but there are plenty of people who, age decades in by time, but not by maturity, and it really is a shame. So it's what it is, though. It is what it is. It's one of those things. We can speak out about it, and we should speak out about it. Ultimately, it's up to those individuals to make the decision to make more mature actions and carry themselves more mature based off of what they want to hold themselves to as a standard as individuals. And I'm certainly not going to let someone's inability to be, a decent human being stop me from enjoying my day, at least, and being productive and continually giving those other people the respect they deserve. So, but yeah. Those people aren't a part of the trumpet community. Yeah, I mean, it depends. It depends on what you define as the community, because online is kind of what it is. It's online. And, the community that you see at in-person live events is very different and generally handles things a lot better than the average person you see on the internet. It is a fact. It is true. So people are complete jerks. I read forums in general with a boatload of popcorn to eat. Yeah, no, it's kind of it's kind of one of those things. You kind of have to make it an entertainment session and just kind of like laugh things off, understand that people can be people, and ignorance oftentimes is too ignorant to improve. And it just kind of is what it is. Like I said, we can encourage people to be better and then put the ball in their court. David, I saw what you were saying and how you addressed it, and I think you addressed it really well. It's a shame that it didn't stick. And I'll leave it at that. I think that'll maybe work. This is a trumpet ensemble. I am well aware of it, but what I really want is that. And those of you guys who have experienced my work as an arranger probably already know this, but I have a tendency to write things down that I feel the arrangement calls for and figure out a way to perform them in the future. And I don't think this is going to be any different. We'll see what a double pedal C can do in a live setting. And I mean, I say live setting, live instruments. It's going to be acoustically treated in a multi-tracking setting, so it won't be entirely live. So I might be able to actually make that work, but we'll see. I think that's going to be, I think we're going to accept that for now. So I'm going to flesh out measure 24. And I think that's all we will focus on for this stream. Now, is that actually what I want to do here? I think so. I think that's what we're going to do. We want those to be grace notes. We do want beat 1 to be articulated, so I think I'll leave that there. We'll zoom out. We'll zoom back out. And I think, I don't know. I don't want to sustain these chord tones for yet another measure without doing anything to them. But I feel like that's kind of the idea that we want. Like that's at least the thickness of orchestration that we want. So let me put this here as placeholders and see if that does in fact work. I'll get rid of that because it'll be shown here. And we shall see how it works. I think actually we want to drop the octave sustain there. Yeah, okay, let's try that. Let's try this. Okay, and obviously I neglected to change the quality of the chord there. There was something else I wanted to, let's try this. We'll do that, and that, and that. One thing that I'm a really big fan of when it comes to Note Performer is that it really does approach a lot of these markings the way that a live performer would. So if what I'm hearing is not what I want to have interpreted, if I change it the way that it sounds right in the MIDI, it's oftentimes going to get me very close to how a professional musician would read it, or in this case, how specifically I would want to read it. If I send it to someone else, how they would want to read it from a multi-tracking standpoint. And so adding these sforzandos, if this cuts out of the texture the way that I want, then I'm going to leave them in there for the published version, because anyone who reads those and plays those literally it'll cut through the texture the way I need it to. Okay, that works. I want to do a lighter orchestration on 24 to make the thicker orchestration on 25 more dramatic. And I think all I need to do is take out one or two of these chord tones. So the C below the staff makes the C inside the staff superfluous. The G inside the staff makes the G below the staff superfluous. Let's see if we can get away with just 4 trumpets here. Let's try that. Let's try that. We'll listen to the whole thing. If we need to decrescendo as well, we will. And we might need to. I'm also still not a fan. Every time I hear this, I'm not really a big fan of the C by the staff here. I think it adds too much brightness to this chord because of the thickness of orchestration in the upper tessitura. I might leave that out. And if I do that, that would cause need for bringing all of these parts up one, which would then further justify my desire to do a double pedal C in trumpet 10, because I can do a single pedal C in trumpet 9, and it'll actually genuinely work from an orchestrational standpoint. If I do sell this on music notes, the trumpet 10 will end up being a bass trumpet part of some sort, or something like that, and the trumpet 9 might be a full valve flugel, or vice versa. Something that can make that double pedal C happen logically, although when I record this, I will probably do it illogically on B flat trumpet. But either way, I really think that sound is necessary and appropriate, and just for the sake of balance, I think it needs to be more present than anything else. So pedal C on bass trumpet is very easy. That's good to know. That's probably what I'll do then. Thank you, David. That's probably what I'll do then from a marketing standpoint. Actually, I think I was too hollow here. So let's put a C here and let's decrescendo, which means we'll have to put this triple forte here. And we'll have to put I don't think that needs to be a pickup. I think that needs to be a sustain. Yeah, I think we need to sustain that. So we'll leave the pickup on the top trumpet line there. We'll leave that C there. So this chord is going to stop at the C below the staff. Yeah, I think that's going to work. We're going to decrescendo only down 1 dynamic marking to forte. And then I think that's the balance that we want. We'll try that and we'll go from there. And then I may or may not, guys, before I end the stream, I may or may not try to set up chatbot while on stream. I'm not going to spend too much time here trying to do it, but I just at least want to see. There might be a simple solution to it not showing on stream today. And if there is a simple solution to it, then I would like to take the opportunity to troubleshoot that. But let's see how this sounds first. That works. As a trumpet ensemble arrangement, I have a tendency to want to add some runs here to 24, but I think it's just going to muddy up this this orchestration. I don't think there's a necessary means to this particular arrangement to have any runs here. So I think I'm going to leave it out. I think we're not going to bother trying. The only other thing I kind of want to do is make this a double sforzando instead of a single sforzando. So we'll do that. And this will work. This is a back half of an arrangement that I don't hate, which is a very good thing for an arranging standpoint. I tend to be highly critical of my music nowadays and what I'm doing and how well it turns out. I think this turned out fairly decent. And there might be some things I might go to bed and wake up and take a look at it and go, oh, X, Y, and Z I can change that are very quick and simple things, and that'll make it sound great as opposed to good. But it does sound good now, and I am happy with it. So I think we're going to leave it there. We'll give it one more listen. I do think I want to add some things there to 20. You mean you're not going to give it the runs? No, I'm not going to give it the runs. I am not going to do that. We're not going to make it run. We're not going to do that. Okay, I think that we're going to leave it as it currently stands. And I kind of want to troubleshoot some things before I turn off the stream, and if I'm not able to make any headway with it, then it's fine. We will hop on later as well. As I get more comfortable streaming here on YouTube, these things are going to continue to improve. Quality is going to continue to improve. The pacing is going to improve. I'm going to be adding more and more features on, and it's going to start to look a lot more polished than it does right now. But as I continue to add these things on one by one, I just want to make sure the deal with this is, if I add everything at once and then the stream crashes, I won't know why it crashed, right? But if I take things one at a time and I go through certain steps and then I realize, oh, well, I added these 4 things and then I started having trouble, then I know it's one of those 4 things or the combination of them that are to blame. And so as I continue to stream here, we will continue to add things, but it's going to be sort of a one at a time sort of deal. So check out the stream in a few months. It's going to look probably different than you'll see it right now. But hopefully at no point will the stream be an unpleasant experience. My goal is for all of these streams to be at least tolerable. So hopefully we've done that tonight. I appreciate you guys kind of bearing with me and allowing me to kind of test some things out. Yeah. I think that first half's going to be a lot easier to put together than the end here. But we'll leave the first half for another time. Okay, cool. So let me save that real quickly. And I kind of want to put something on in the background for us to kind of listen to while I do some troubleshooting. This is more than tolerable. Was practicing and watching. It came out great. Thank you so much, Brandon. I appreciate it. That means a lot. It's a lot easier to take the feedback from a fellow composer than my own feedback, because obviously, as we've been through. I am super critical of my own stuff, so I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Cool. Yes, we will. I have to be very careful about what I do the first half of that arrangement, so that it doesn't get too busy too quickly and doesn't distract from that arrangement is going to be meant to elicit emotion and not to dazzle, if that makes sense. Which it probably does make sense for those of you guys who have heard the original Creep, as well as if you've heard the drum corps arrangement. It isn't meant to be, like you would expect from the average trumpet ensemble piece. It's not meant to be this impressive display of technical alignment. It's meant to be something that brings about an emotional connection of some sort. And so that is what I'm going to try to do. So, yeah. Okay. Let's do some, I'm going to, those of you guys who want to hang out, I appreciate you hanging out. I'm going to see if I can get chatbot working. If you guys are headed out, that's totally fine as well. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for hanging around the stream. It's been a lot of fun. I will continue to have streams in the future, and hopefully we'll have some more things set up than previously. So here comes my job. Yes, Jesse, and I hopefully we'll be able to make to find some success here. So let me go ahead. So Streamlabs used to be able to do this inside of the app or inside of the browser. I'm sorry, inside of the app, and now it only does it inside of the browser. So I think the first thing that I want to do here is hop into YouTube Studio and verify that Streamlabs is modded. So I'm going to do that real quickly. And my stream might skip a little bit as I load a window in the process of doing this. But we'll kind of take it as it comes. Okay. So real quickly here. Jesse is a mod, Klein is a mod. I modded myself on my other account, and Streamlabs is modded, so that is a good. That is not the issue. We've checked that off of the box. By the way, for those of you guys, I mean, if you guys enjoyed the stream, do me a favor and hit a like on this video. YouTube is very different from Twitch. It will push these things in its algorithm. It'll actually push the live streams as replay versions onto people's feeds, so that people can watch those replays, and then they might decide, oh, I want to catch a stream in the future. So if you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a comment on the video replay after it's done, and feel free to like the video, which you can do right now. And if you're not subscribed and you want to check out some of my other content, then please feel free to consider subscribing as well. I'm going to leave my replays up until I get monetized, because it'll help me reach the watch hours that I need on YouTube. So they'll be up for a while, and once I do get monetized, I will unlist the streams. However, I will put them in a playlist that will be made visible. So you'll still be able to see them on my channel, similar to some of the videos that I put on Lurk. I'm adding exclamation point Lurk as a command, so I said that I put on Lurk, that I put on unlisted, but they still exist in playlists. You can still see them even though you can't necessarily search them. I'm going to do the same thing with these streams. Jesse, can you do me a favor and type exclamation point Lurk in the chat real quickly and see if it does anything? Let's see. Nothing. Okay, give me 1 second. What if I do a hard reboot? What if I turn CloudBot off and then turn CloudBot back on? Can you try it again, Jesse? You don't think Streamlabs is in the chat? It is not in the chat. It is not in the chat. Jesse, you set things up on the day of. Oh, okay. Well, I was about to troubleshoot. It looks like Streamlabs is now here, so that's good. That's good news. Okay. So we have Streamlabs now. I guess I don't know. So I just went to CloudBot and I turned it off and I turned it back on. That's all I did. So I don't know why it wasn't working before. But yeah, screw you, Slobs. Yeah, screw you, Streamlabs, OBS. Not on the job until the very end. Okay, so since it responded to us. Okay, good. So commands can be added by moderators. That is good. Let me try a few things. Okay, that's good news. That by itself is going to add a lot to the stream. Yeah, real slow. I wonder why. Jesse, so what I started with is you set up Streamlabs when you did your stream on YouTube, right? Were you able to get Streamlabs to work and to not be like 30 seconds behind? Yeah, let's see if we can try some of these other commands and whatnot. That's right, you have Stream Elements. So Streamlabs might just be slow in general. I don't know. We'll stick with it and see if it ends up being continually lame. Then we might, and that was one of the things I was deciding as well. I was strongly considering setting up Stream Elements as opposed to Streamlabs on YouTube. I don't have enough information to know the strengths or weaknesses on YouTube between the two. It was a little slow as well. So maybe it's just YouTube getting used to the streaming thing. Yeah. Okay, so let me do this. Let me try to hop into the chat myself. I think only commands work when live. Really? Okay. OBS is less of a resource hog. Sure. Yeah. I think I don't know. I'm gonna be trying out numerous things. I'm not gonna be married to any one thing for a very long time. I'm gonna try a lot of things because obviously, I mean, YouTube is continually updating their features and rolling out new features as well. Word on the street is that they're currently working on some of the things that they should have had a long time ago. Things like the equivalent of gifted subs, like gifted memberships. I don't know why it doesn't seem like it's a complicated thing, but obviously I don't know how they would set it up. So maybe it is a lot more complicated. But some of those things that they like should have had, when they first started. I don't know. So Streamlabs is here. My question now is, are loyalty points working? Let me go and see Okay. Anyone can do this. If it is working, it's going to be set as exclamation point notes, a la music notes. So can anyone type exclamation point notes in chat and see if it gives you an answer? If it does, it's probably going to give you 15. And we'll see... we'll see if it responds on us. And I want to see how long this delay is. It seems like it's really long. And it looks like in my chat that it responded to David before Jesse, which I think is really funny because in my chat, Jesse typed it before David. So that's interesting. We'll have to see. So maybe Streamlabs is just going to be slow, or maybe it's just the time of day / time of night. But it seems to be like very, very, very slow. So, I mean, if so, it is what it is. But it's definitely great to have Streamlabs here and working. Maybe it's just because it had a slow start and had some errors and whatnot here. So here comes the gambling. Did Streamlabs respond quicker to that? It seemed like it responded immediately, or maybe I just missed it. Maybe I missed the delay. Well, so Jesse now has quadruple the notes as David. So there we go. I guess we're we're already ahead here. Okay. It was still 4 hours later. Okay, I knew that was gonna happen. Okay. So now David has no notes. Feels bad, man. Okay, we need to add the E# command in chat now that we have Streamlabs here, and yeah. Now we have the trolley games of Streamlabs here to make everyone's life better. So this will be great. Jesse has infinitely more than me. Yeah, he does right now. This is true. Okay, let me see. So, okay. Theoretically, we should have... hold on. We should have the heist minigame up. We should have Gamble up, which you just tried. We should have 8-ball. So if you type exclamation point 8-ball and ask a question, you should get 8-ball to respond. We have slots, which I never really used anyway, but it's here. And we also have duel. So, nice. Thank you, Jesse, for adding that command. That is a needed command here. We will probably also roll out the 57 hug commands that we had previously too, but that will happen in the future. Will Streamlabs chatbot respond quicker? Let's find out. I don't know. I don't know. PogChamp as like the words PogChamp. Okay, and we have our first time message. Okay, well, it seems like Streamlabs is 80% functional, which, I mean, 80% is better. So yeah, it's better than nothing. So yeah, so the timer showed up. That's good. Yeah, nice PogChamp. There's a part of me that kind of wants to leave the PogChamp in the message. It is possible to do to put emotes up on YouTube as well. I don't know if I can do it. It might be a monetizing. I have to look into it. But yeah, 75%. Yeah, it's 75% functionable. Yeah, functionable. Is functionable a word? Functional is what I meant to say. Moderators should also be able to do all of the normal commands that you can do as moderators. So Obviously, we can add commands. You should theoretically be able to do things like manually add points to members and things of the sort. Vibe champ. Oh my gosh. That is amazing. That is amazing. What did you do that? What was the command? Username scored. Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. So so vibe can be a thing. Vibe champ. That's pretty impressive. I kind of liked vibe champ better than vibe check. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so this is good news that Streamlabs works. Now that I know that it does work, we'll start rolling out some of the commands we had previously, as well as some of the new commands that I'm going to have in to the stream later. So I like that we have a vibe check. Oof, that's a much meaner where you can change it. I think Jesse. I think what we need is a vibe champ emote, and it needs to be something very terribly punny and extremely cringy, and that makes people facepalm whenever they see it. Yeah. No, I dig the vibe check. The vibe check is good. We can leave it. It doesn't have to be vibe champ. It's fine. Cool. So commands are working. I should have 3 timers set. What was the one that showed up? What was the timer that showed up? The social media one. Okay. Okay, cool. So there should be a social media one. There should be a loyalty points one, which probably won't come up before I end the stream. And there should be a subscriber reminder one. There will be other timers that'll show up as well, and some other things that kind of interact. So moderators should be able to add quotes just like they could previously. And moderators should also be able to add loyalty points manually to other individuals. And you should also be able to ban people as well. So muted piccolo trumpet is the worst. The only thing worse than piccolo trumpet is muted piccolo trumpet. I agree. David, do you have a gig with muted piccolo trumpet? Are you doing a video with it, or what's the context? I am just not a fan of piccolo trumpet in general. I think it is the least interesting of all the trumpets, and trumpet is the least interesting of all the brass instruments. And so I'm just not a fan of piccolo trumpet at all, like in any way. Intonation is horrid. Yeah, I feel that. Audition. Okay. Best of luck. I hope that you can fix the horrible nature of piccolo trumpet with a mute with intonation. That is quite a doozy. I will say I did not spend much of my college career playing piccolo trumpet because I just didn't want to run into it. Okay, let's see if that works. Let's see if Streamlabs actually adds the points. The end of Petrushka and okay. Well, best of luck, David. I have to say, like, after being out of the intense ecosystem of trumpet players playing excerpts repeatedly over and over and over and over again, going back to listening to excerpts. I really do enjoy those excerpts. So, oh my gosh. Well, we have confirmed that Streamlabs hates David. maybe they'll be able to make up next time. So, no open pick. I can't let them hear my golden tone. No, of course not. Of course not. I'm so much pressure on excerpts. Yeah, It turns out it wasn't that the excerpts were bad. It's just that they were massively overplayed. Like that's all that we ever heard in college. So, yeah. I wonder. Let me see if I can find the command. I wonder if the command is something else. Theoretically, the command should show up. So I can add points directly via Streamlabs. The command should theoretically show up under loyalty, but it does not. So, Jesse, you should have 190 points now, and David should have 100 points. Because I just manually added points. Those, in fact, work. In fact, we do that. I also don't hate the Haydn anymore. That's good. That's good. I'll have to finish my Haydn arrangements. And see if I don't hate it. Because, yeah. Commands default. Thank you, Jesse. Is Streamlabs ignoring David? Are we not getting a response? How is the latency, by the way, guys? I think I set it to low latency, which in theory should be about a 5 to 10 second delay. If it's more than that, then I'll need to check out my settings. So we have add command, remove command, edit command, enable permit. Okay, so those are what they are. Media share in quotes. Okay. I didn't see the first one you put down, Jesse. However, I saw 15. I just saw 15. I saw you place down 15. So whenever I reacted to that one, it's how long it is. Jesse, try add points without the @ sign. So try like add points David Cook and then whatever you add to him and see if that works. Just take the @ sign off. It looks like in theory, everything else should be working. So that is good news, and honestly, that is a good place to end the stream. You know what YouTube really should do as well. The two things that I really want YouTube to be able to add is what we mentioned before. It'd be nice to gift memberships to people. Did it not successfully? It looks like it did not successfully add the points to David, unfortunately. But I want them to be able to add like gifted things, gifted memberships, and it would be nice to have some form of raids. Because those are the two biggest things that those are the two biggest community builders for most streamers, right? Can you type it in chat to see if it works? Yeah, I will type it in chat to see if it works. I will do that. and we'll see. We'll see if it does anything. So we'll try that. And we'll try that. Will either work. The good news is that most everything else does work, so if it's just a command by command, then, you know, it is what it is. David, can you just gamble some? Can you do gamble 100 and see, or gamble 50 or 10? Oh, never mind. Apparently, apparently it does work. Apparently it does work. And you still lost everything. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Jesse, does give work? Oh, hold on. Maybe I can try. I think the issue might be with the name recognition as opposed to the actual command itself. And if that's the case, yeah, perfectly balanced as it should be. I'll never not gamble them all. I mean, whatever makes you happy, I guess. If you like losing everything. I wonder, That's interesting. So, okay, so it kind of stinks that the, that the bot will not work unless you're live? But I guess we'll just continue to test these things out and to check them out as streams happen. And if they work, they work. If they don't, it's fine. You're much more generous than Streamlabs, clearly. Yeah. Stream Elements didn't work? Okay. Okay. I guess we'll see. Well, that's fine. So I guess I guess we have done all that we need to do for now. Knowing that Streamlabs works, the next thing I might test out some alerts and sound commands next stream. Now that I know that Streamlabs does in fact work, now that I know that these scenes work, right, I can switch between them. I also have a gameplay scene. There's no video game here, so obviously it's a black screen right now. But maybe I'll test out some non-music related things as well, just to make sure that everything's working as it should. But everything that I have set up appears to be working. We're going to have to stream in 540p if we're using this computer. It's fine. I think I'll be able to upgrade that really soon. But otherwise, it seems to be a successful stream. So, yeah. Once we get a high enough amount of members, we will do what I like to call a shadow raid. So basically, we'll post a link in the chat of someone who is streaming, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, you know, all three people that stream on Facebook, or whether it's on Twitch. And we will do raids once we have a strong enough community to do it, a large enough community to do it. We'll just have to do it manually because I think it's a really good community building thing to do, and it makes people stay. So we'll do it, but for now we have to grow the stream. We'll go to the channel, and we'll continue to go from there. So anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you hanging in there with me and letting me test a few things out, and letting me do just a little bit of composing. And we're going to call it a night. I will probably stream again next Saturday, the 18th. If not, it will be next month. and it'll probably be the first Saturday of the month. So at any rate, I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you have a great and wonderful night. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, Jesse. Good night. Good night, David. Thank you guys for your help.